Hi, my name is Tyler. I am a senior and a resident assistant at a major university. I was a college volleyball player and a 4-time intramural volleyball champion.
My name is Nikki. I am from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I play Division I volleyball.
Why did you look at me when you said that? Like you were better than me. That's exactly what you looked at me.
I need to do that again.
We're a couple that's been together for over 9 months, and we are committed to abstinence. I can wait.
Good.
How about now?
Nope.
And even more than that, we're committed to a relationship of purity in every aspect. The first time that Nikki and I met was pretty interesting.
We had seen each other on campus, but, you know, a hi or how are you? That was about it.
I saw her smile, and I really was curious, you know, who she was, and curious to get to know her. How you doing? So one night I was speaking, and I was standing out on this lawn, and there was probably 250 or 300 students sitting around listening, and I look to my right, and I make eye contact with Nikki, and she was with 2 other volleyball players. I wanted to talk to her so bad.
It was very, very cool to see a fellow student up there.
Unfortunately, like, some people came up to me afterwards and was talking to me, and I looked to my right again and they were gone. They'd already left.
I knew him, I knew his name, and so I really did just want to thank him.
I got back to my dorm and I told my roommate, I said, and you will never believe who came. That girl Nikki was on the volleyball team. Which I'd probably talked about her a few times, which I hope that's not too weird. I opened my computer to check my email, and I turned on Facebook, and she had sent me a message that night. Something short and very sweet.
I thought that he did a pretty good job.
That was incredible. I sent her a message, and before we know it, we got in a group together and we were hanging out.
We were friends for a year before we started dating, so through that time I got to see him, around his family, around his friends, around my friends. A big part of trust would be our standards and what we have.
We decided that it wasn't going to be how close we can get without crossing boundaries. It was how far can we stay away from crossing lines. So many couples get into relationships and they think standards are a good thing. They don't want to have sex. They don't want to go too far physically or whatever aspect of their relationship they might want to set standards in. But they go about it wrong, and they say, you know what, we'll set standards as we get there, or if we get to the moment, we'll decide to stop.
I have one word for that, and that is dangerous.
I think hormones are a crazy thing, and when you get into the heat of the moment, there's no telling like what you're gonna do. So for us, we decided that we were gonna set standards in advance and not break those.
You never know how you're gonna feel at certain times, which is why we set them ahead of time. In the moment, you're not gonna wanna set standards, and if you don't have them, you're gonna go too far.
When you set up one little area where you're not gonna cross, or you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna touch her there, and you're not gonna kiss for longer than this amount of time. Like, when you get in the heat of that moment, you don't have a stopwatch, and you're not paying attention. I feel like that's why so many relationships fall apart. When the physical part of the relationship starts going faster than the emotional part, then the relationship starts to crumble.
The farther you go physically, the more you give yourself away. And you know, when you get with your future husband or future wife, you know, how much have you given yourself away? What do you have left to give?
We held off physically for so long, and because of that, like, she is my best friend. And that's been one of the most fulfilling things for me, is getting to know Nikki on like a personal level without the weirdness of going out thinking, you know, when am I gonna get some, or when am I gonna kiss her, or, you know, like, that's not something that you should be worried about. That's not something that you should be thinking about every second that you're with the person that you like.
I mean, we talked about it, but Tyler was definitely the leader.
I think that if you are man enough to get into a relationship, I think that you ought to be man enough to lead that relationship. So many times I see relationships where a guy and a girl gets together and they neglect the people that have poured into their lives and the people that care so much about them. They seclude themselves from everything else. We said from the beginning that I was going to have times where I was going to hang out with my friends and my guys, and she was going to have times where she was going to hang out with her friends and her girls. We have one night a week is our date night. No matter what comes up, that one night is set apart for us. We don't want to be awkward around our friends. We don't want to be We don't want to be that couple. So many times once you jump into the physical side, you neglect getting to know the person. You neglect becoming best friends, and you neglect building a foundation to a lasting relationship.
I've never met anyone who has chosen abstinence and regretted it. I have met so many people that have chosen to have sex before marriage, and they have all regretted it.
If you love a person enough to have sex with them, then you love them enough to be patient and wait for marriage to have sex with them.